Hello viewers, once again welcome to Eyes on the Votes, the episode of Support ICE in Making America Great Again, Part 1. Today, we shall be looking at border conditions under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's administration and make our judgment. Here in the video, Florida Sheriff shows pictures of Joe Biden's unsecure border.
Difference, except for the executives and the Congress, who are absolutely, totally tone deaf. Now, for those of you who are slow learners, this is a secure border. This is another picture of an insecure, unsecure border, both. Folks, they're coming here not just to find a better way of life like many of our forefathers did, but they're coming here to kill our people while they make enormous profits.
House Border Cza. Tom Homan sounds the alarm. I have never seen anything like this.
Now, we also have to take a look at what went on under Joe Biden and the 4 years of the Biden administration and that wide open border. There were people who came in during the Biden years and actually have continued to commit crimes. How significant is that right now, given the fact that these news stories of the last couple of weeks have people dying at the hands of illegals?
Well, look, it's extremely significant. I said for 4 years during the Biden administration on this very network that what he created is the biggest national security failure in the history of this nation. Because we know they weren't vetting people properly. I said it over and over again. When Secretary Mayorkas is saying all these people were released, the millions have been properly vetted, you can't say that. We don't have access to other countries' criminal data.
Right.
El Salvador doesn't have an NCIC. Some of these countries like China and Russia where those people came across, do you actually think they're going to share any national security data with us? So they weren't properly vetted. We didn't have access to that information.
Ex-Border Patrol Chief Erin testifies that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris ordered for media cover-up on what was happening at the American borders for power grab and profit gains.
Did you vote? Are you gonna vote? Oh, will you ask people that you know to vote, please? And will you ask them to vote for me? Thank you.
This is ex-Border Patrol Chief Erin Testifies, I hope I'm saying that right, who says he was ordered to hide illegal aliens and what he terms SIAs, which are special interest aliens, from the media and cover up the border disaster by the Biden-Harris administration. I promise you, this is worth your time. This is worth every second. Please watch this.
Chairman, distinguished members, thank you for this opportunity. The only true consequence we have to slow down and discourage people from coming into the United States illegally is sending them back to their country of origin. Throughout the first 3+ years of this administration, I saw a steady decrease in the countries we could send people back to. For the first time in my 25 years, and under 5 different administrations, whether through neglect or on purpose, I saw a large-scale lapse in our ability to return people to their country of origin. The inability to send people home meant that most people being arrested for illegal entry would either have to be detained or released. The current administration, however, from day one, made a point of decreasing the amount of detention space available nationwide. Immigration and Customs Enforcement's funding for detention has steadily been cut and private detention eliminated. The fact that so many illegal aliens are being released into the United States spread worldwide very quickly. As this happened, the numbers the Border Patrol encountered illegally crossing the border increased exponentially. The impact to me and my agents were significant. Sectors were ordered to take in and process all the illegal aliens encountered on the border. The Border Patrol saw groups of hundreds and thousands coming into the United States and turning themselves in. These numbers pulled 80, 90, sometimes 100% of the agents on duty away from the border. Border Patrol zones across Texas, Arizona, and California had no agent presence for weeks and months at a time. Those who did not want to be caught could simply walk in. We have no idea who and what entered our country over this time. Throughout 2022 and 23, I sent agents to Texas and Arizona to count gotaways. Those sectors could not even put enough agents in the field to see what they'd missed. Simultaneously, in San Diego, we had an exponential increase in significant interest aliens. These are aliens with significant ties to terrorism. Prior to this administration, the San Diego sector averaged 10 to 15 SIA arrests per year. Once word was out the border was far easier to cross, San Diego went to over 100 SIAs in 2022, well over that in 2023, and even more than that registered this year. These are only the ones we caught. At the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests.
Wow.
The administration was trying to convince the public there was no threat at the border.
Oh, my God.
Fentanyl is another issue. The San Diego area sees between 80 and 90% of the methamphetamine and fentanyl seizures annually for our entire country. With little enforcement at the border, these drugs were coming through en masse. During my last year in San Diego, the price for a single pill of fentanyl, for example, went from $10 to 25 cents. To make matters worse, during 2022 and 23, I had to shut down San Diego traffic checkpoints, which are critical for drug interdiction, because the resources had been diverted to the process and release mission. The large numbers also had and still have a negative impact on the San Diego community. I had to release illegal aliens by the hundreds each day into communities who could not support them. To quiet the problem, 2 flights a week were provided from San Diego to Texas. These flights simply brought aliens that would have been released in San Diego over to Texas. Each flight cost approximately $150,000. This was the administration's way to try and quiet the border-wide crisis. Once these flights were stopped and the releases continued, California saw the true economic impact. I received calls from the governor's office, local mayors, and hospital administrators asking me if we could keep injured aliens in custody so the federal government would pay the medical bills. Through pressure from the administration, my headquarters became more interested in the fiction that being portrayed in the media and not at all concerned with reality. Each time we asked for help in dealing with a new issue, it fell on deaf ears.
Unbelievable.
At times in San Diego, we had 2,000 or more aliens sitting in between the fences asking to turn themselves in. I was told to move them out of sight of the media.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Border Patrol agents are continually forgotten and neglected by the media and this administration. These agents deal with death, women and children that have been raped, abused, trafficked, bought and sold, families that have spent months in terrible conditions, sickness, and despair. If you look at the dramatic rise in the number of suicides within the Border Patrol, it is directly correlated with the migrant surge. The agents have been pushed beyond their limit, and this has greatly impacted their physical and mental health.
Wow.
While current numbers of aliens crossing our border are lower in comparison in recent months, there's a reason for this. After nearly 4 years, this administration finally started to ask Mexico for help in slowing down the traffic through their country. This and other actions make a difference, but why has it taken so long? All of these tactics were being used before this administration took office.
Only
this
for election
administration
purposes.
stopped or greatly limited them.
That's the only reason.
I'm also concerned this will not be maintained. The problems we are facing at the border have solutions. These solutions can be quite simple and cost far less than the mess currently occupying so much time and money. The return to a policy of enforcing the law and returning illegal aliens to their home countries is required. Thank you.
Border Patrol agents are pushed to their maximum capacity where suicide rates are at the highest they've ever been amongst Border Patrol? I never even knew that. Fellow Americans, there's no other way to categorize this other than a word that I don't use lightly, and I understand the full gravity of what I'm about to say. This, my fellow Americans, Nez Nation, is treason. There's no other way to describe this. We knew they were flying them in. We knew that we had record-breaking, as the data and the analysis, me doing my own due diligence, qualitative and quantitative research, reflects. My state, my home state, California, record-breaking illegal border crossings, record-breaking, skyrocketing crime rates, smash and grabs, strange, bizarre assaults, muggings, in neighborhoods that you would never, ever see this, small businesses closing, etc., etc. We knew this was all happening. We knew it was happening. We know why it's happening. Now you have actual confirmation from an ex-border chief who loves his country. You can tell this guy's a patriot. You can tell he speaks the truth. He's speaking from his heart. This should break every single American's heart. This should be enough conclusive evidence to put Vegetable in Chief Biden behind bars and completely disbar and ban Kamala Harris, if not worse, from ever even thinking or being in the vicinity of seeking office in any capacity in our United States government. We know they want the votes. We know they're flooding these illegal immigrants into swing states so they can essentially form the uniparty, long-lasting, and sway the electorates over the next 10, 20, 30, God knows how many years. We see what's happening in Aurora, Chicago, Portland, D.C., Detroit with these migrants, Ohio, Springfield. Yes, they're eating the dogs. Yes, they're eating the pets. That's all been proven and actually verified, even though David Muir from ABC and those terrible moderators fact-checked Kamala Harris goose egg 0 and went after Trump when he was right about everything. We've got actual testimony from residents in these areas like Aurora, like Springfield, and others who are saying, we don't know what to do. I've shown you footage of city council meetings, town halls, where the residents are fed up. Who's going to protect us? You're here protecting these migrants, giving, not only are they letting them come across, not only are they throwing out the red carpet, terrorists. These are people who are...
We the people stand with ICE. We stand with the men and women who keep our borders safe. I'm not ashamed to say it. This is our country. We are not backing down. I love this place more than I can say, and I'll...
Like, comment, and share. Above all, continue to stay safe. Love from Eyes on the Votes.